What's happening in the world, my friends? Today is January 17th. My name is Reagan, and here are your past week's headlines. We began our week with Russian and U.S. officials meeting in Geneva, where talks came to of little progress. They then moved to Geneva, where talks also came to a stalemate. Back in the States, Bob Saget died, but nobody cares. Also, there was that fire in the Bronx, which left 19 dead, and there were victims on every floor found charred and in cardiac arrest. Houston got hit by a small tornado, almost said volcano, and Wall Street starts the week down 1.5%. Getting my natural disasters mixed up here. How unfortunate. Philippines is on Omicron mode now, which means cases are increasing and testing is lackluster. Another nail in the planetary coffin. The last 7 years have been the hottest on record by a clear margin, European scientists say. Here in America, state climatologists confirmed that Texas had its hottest December on record, with the climate change a contributing factor, of course. And furthermore, scientists found that in 2021 there was 91% more lightning detected at the highest latitudes of the planet, where the North Pole sits. Back at the Capitol, AOC and a slew of other lawmakers, aka corporate pawns, tested positive for COVID-19, and then at the same time, the coldest air in 3 years came through parts of the country. Wind chills as low as 45 degrees below zero. That's like stupid cold. A big nope. But luckily, a fossilized 180 million year old sea dragon was found in England. So Loch Ness is kinda real? North Korea launched another ballistic missile on Monday night, their second in a week, in fact, and the FAA was ordered to ground all flights on the West Coast for a few minutes. And then another hypersonic missile test on Wednesday. They just gotta get a nuclear warhead put on it and checkmate. The hypersonic missile on Wednesday test flew 400 miles, but 10 times the speed of sound. It's not ready yet, but it may soon be. At some point during the week, the CDC testified to Congress how they screwed up the Omicron surge. Have you seen that movie, Jackass?
Well, Reagan is often, the measuring stick for modern
boomers.
For what reason, I'm not exactly sure, but let's go with it. Where was Ronald Reagan at this stage of his first term? For now, virtually none of the groups that fueled Biden's 2020 victory are happy. Young people are frustrated that he hasn't followed through on vows to combat climate change and student debt.
Then, in fact, it did get 20 below zero in Maine, and Jerome Powell is serving as a second term as the Fed chair.
Okay, boomer.
A cryptocurrency CEO has become one of the richest people on earth. Shanpeng CZ Zhao runs the crypto exchange Binance, has joined the ranks of the top billionaires with an estimated net worth of only $96 billion. But then again, the hottest ocean temperatures in recorded history were made last year. Yes, indeed, ocean heating driven by human-caused climate crisis, scientists say. In 6th consecutive year, it's been broken. And Leavenworth, Washington, though many of you may not be familiar, got 36 inches of snow. They declared a small state of emergency. Then the U.S. reported a record 1.48 million new COVID cases. At this rate, everybody's getting it. I probably already had it. But my symptoms are far less than those who are unvaccinated. Have fun getting sick. And about 24% of U.S. hospitals are reporting a critical staffing shortage, according to data from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, as public health experts warn that COVID-19 surge by the Omicron variant threatens the nation's healthcare system. And then the acting FDA chief comes out and says, just expect to get it. But Maryland surgeons in a first transplant a genetically modified pig's heart into this 57-year-old man, and he lived. For now. Don't Look Up is Netflix's second most watched film of all time with 321.52 million total viewing hours as of that writing, and surely people must be a little woken up now, right? Right? Have you seen that movie, Jackass? Biden administration says it's fine to go to school, kids. We only give 8 PCR tests a month because that'll cover everybody. And Johnson said he's sorry for going to that party in 2020. Now he's hated by everybody. Hear, hear, resign. It's funny how European politics works, right? It's a bunch of angry white people yelling in a building. That's how we solve our issues over there. Okay. The Army is offering, back in the States, the Army is offering $50,000 for a 6-year enlistment. That's $10,000 higher than usual. On the other hand, new car prices rose 14% in 2021. The average car sold more than $5,700. Americans are buying more luxury vehicles and trucks. Kevin McCarthy, a Trump loyalist, will not cooperate with the January 6th committee, and thousands of Kroger grocery store workers walk out. Good for them. Turns out North Korea stole nearly $400 million in cryptocurrency in 2021, particularly Ethereum, researchers have found, indicating its national strategy of hacking and laundering digital money remains successful. At least 40% of the lower 48 has gone 68 straight weeks, more than 17 months in drought conditions. And Biden has plans to send 1,000 more military medics to U.S. hospitals in 6 states with COVID-19 hotspots. This has been a busy week. We got to keep going. Trump calls Mitch McConnell a loser in an NPR interview and hangs up. Little dramatic. Flash floods in Toulouse, France. And Albuquerque's largest school district shut down for a second straight day because of a cyber attack. 70,000 kids or so out of class for 2 days. Good for them. Ukraine's government was hacked, and they were told to be afraid because the worst is yet to come. Intimidation from Moscow, not to mention trained operatives that are staging an inciting event that would enable them to justify their means of invasion. This also happened in 2014. India is reporting a massive Omicron wave, but Hindu festivals are going to still take place. Evidently, you can just throw some of that sewage water from the Ganges on your face and you're cleansed. Then it was my birthday, and some of my Doomer Boomer friends brought me some red velvet cake on Friday night, and there was a snowstorm which blew through here and tracking up the northeast. Extremely grateful for my friends. There was a tsunami warning across the west coast, stretching from Seattle to San Diego and New Zealand, as well as Tonga, where the underwater volcano erupted. 48 states accuse Facebook of antitrust, and they're bringing them back to court because the measures taken last year were not enough. They claim that they hold a monopoly. I mean, Meta. If you have private health insurance, now you can get free at-home COVID tests starting next week. On the other hand, Germany is breaking COVID records every day, and now you gotta have proof you have the vaccine and a negative test everywhere you go. Unlike in America, there's testing stations set up at almost every block in Germany. Then we concluded our week with a hostage situation at a synagogue in Texas. 4 captives were released, and the gunman is now dead. He was protesting the release of a terrorist that's being held and detained in Fort Worth. And to top things off for your pocketbook, because the highest inflation in 4 decades isn't enough for you, you need to be entertained, Netflix is raising their prices again. So you can suck a fuck or two. And that about wraps the week up. I tried to run through this quickly, guys. A lot of blah blah. This is what's happening in the world. My name is Reagan. Hit subscribe and like, share with your friends if you want to keep informed about all the hottest events happening on your planet every week. Thanks again. I'll see you next week. Ciao.